Hey everybody, welcome back to The Stuff of Legend. My name is D'Lo. I have another video for you today. I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this one. We are talking about Batinthesun's Legend of the White Dragon. If you're a Power Rangers fan, this is really big stuff for us, especially if you're an OG Power Rangers fan. If you liked, for instance, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Zeo, Turbo, a lot of the 90s content, a lot of the very early 2000s content. You're going to have a lot of fun with this. If you haven't heard of it, I've talked about it on the channel. Catherine Sutherland joins the fight, and I'm going to explain what Legend of the White Dragon is first, and then I'll get into what this news is, and even better news about it, because it's really starting to pick up steam. I'm going to talk about that in just one second. What's up, guys? But before I do, I wanted to tell you guys, if you want to help me out, please subscribe to the channel and make sure to turn on notifications so you could be alerted right away when I go live next time. That way you guys won't miss a single thing. Next time I go live, you can drop your comments in the chat and we can have that conversation, whether it's your comments or your questions in the live, and it can be part of the video. That way you can be part of the Stuff of Legend as well, because that's what I like. I like having these discussions with you guys, hearing what you have to say, catching your excitement, letting that roll over with mine as well. It'll be a lot of fun, but there's so much to talk about as far as Legend of the White Dragon. I'm going to shift my screen so you can see what I'm looking at over here. Okay, so this is a poster for Legend of the White Dragon. You guys may already be familiar with Batinthesun. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys Batinthesun YouTube. So you're probably already familiar with them. They do a lot of the superpower beatdowns. They have tons and tons of content and tons of videos. Their beatdowns are probably their most famous videos. They've also done the series with Valiant Comics and created their the Valiant Comics TV universe, but from YouTube. So they do all kinds of really awesome things, and they've worked with many of the Power Rangers as well, specifically Jason David Frank. They have a really good relationship with him. They've done the Green Ranger versus Ryu, the White Ranger versus Scorpion, and plenty of others. Now, they do really epic fight scenes, really awesome fan servicey content. But specifically, I wanted to talk to you guys about this news here. So Catherine Sutherland has joined the Legend of the White Dragon. You guys know Catherine Sutherland from Power Rangers. She was the second Pink Ranger in Mighty Morphin. She was the Zeo Pink Ranger, and she was also the first Pink Ranger in Turbo. She was also the Turbo movie Pink Ranger, I believe. So she is, she's an OG. And she hasn't been around on the Power Rangers scene for a little bit, except that whenever you go to a con or a convention, rather, if you don't go to cons very often, you probably know it as a convention. But if you go to like a Comic-Con, for instance, you'll be able to like get her autograph and talk with her, and that sort of stuff is a lot of fun for people like us who grew up on Power Rangers. Batinthesun is not affiliated with Hasbro. Okay, so Hasbro owns Power Rangers, and Batinthesun is an independent YouTube production company that makes really awesome and super legit content, and they've worked directly with Valiant to create the Valiant Universe comic series online. Now, that being said, they're not an affiliate of the Power Rangers, but they have good relations with, for instance, Jason David Frank, Jason Fount, and plenty of these other Power Rangers. The young lady in the middle is actually the daughter of Jason David Frank. That's Jenna Frank. And she was not a Power Ranger, but she is going to be a part of this project. Really cool stuff. You see Johnny Young Bosch. He was a Black Ranger. And Jason Fount, the Time Force Red Ranger. Yoshi Sudarsa, I think if I'm saying his name, forgive me about that. But I believe he was the Blue Ranger in... what was his name? He played Coda, I think it is. I can't remember what the series was for that. Dino Charge or something? I can't remember which one it was. Because that was past the time where I was consistently watching. So I didn't get to see his, but I played him a lot in the video games. And then also Christy Ann as well from, I think that was Ninja Steel, if I'm not mistaken. And then also Ciara Hanna. a lot of these are actual Power Rangers. And then obviously Jason David Frank here in the front, who will play the actual White Ranger. This is going to play out similar to how the Lord Drakkon storyline sort of plays. How there's a dark Green Ranger, there's a good Green Ranger. Not in that same fashion, but how if you take out the Lord Drakkon part and you have the good Green Ranger and he's like, he's the survivor, and then there's all these other Rangers that are the resistance. This is not a Power Rangers affiliated story, but they're playing it exactly like kind of how Rangers would work, using elements similar to like the Morphin Grid, Morphers, the suits, the weapons, that sort of thing, and obviously heavy on the martial arts. And they're kind of playing themselves from the Power Rangers as well. They're probably going to have new names. They're probably going to be like slightly different because obviously they if they're not licensed by Hasbro, they're not going to be able to use those characters specifically. But this is going to be some seriously epic Power Rangers love for fans. So if you're a Power Ranger fan, even though it's unofficial, this is the kind of content we've been waiting for, because it's like it's access to Legends characters. Now, enough of that. I've already kind of explained the gist of what that is. Catherine Sutherland joining this crew is really awesome. I covered this story, I think it's almost 8 months ago or something like that. Like, it was towards the middle end of last year. I covered this story, and then I even donated. You'll see right here. I even donated to get it off the ground. You can see I have an account here because it allows me to do comments. It's linked in the description of this video if you want to check that out. This is Aaron Schwank and his father, who do Batinthesun. They're the directors, producers, creators of Batinthesun in Hollywood. Very, very awesome and legit production company. It's young, it's small. It was born out of YouTube, but man, it's really good content if you haven't seen it, and I'm really excited for this. I would highly recommend to everybody watch the trailer for The Legend of the White Dragon if you haven't already. It's been a bit of time since I've actually covered the news on this, but that's because it had fizzled out. You'll see here it says this project did not meet its funding goal. Your pledge will no longer be collected. This is how it works with Kickstarter, is that you can set it up so that you set a time frame and a goal, and if you meet the goal within the time frame, then the people that pledged to donate get the money taken out of their accounts, and then it actually goes there. But if not enough pledges come in for the goal, then no one's cards get charged because they weren't going to meet the goal anyway. And so it's kind of a safe way for fans to be like, look, I really want this content. I'll put money down on this. But you pledge the money. They hold the card number, the card information, until the possibility they reach that goal. And then if they hit it, then bam, your card gets charged, and then they get to move on. Well, the good news, guys, is that how they set it up from last time to now is 203,000 people, $203,000 were raised out of the 500,000 goal from the last time. But they now have hit their goal. And so it's pretty cool. Like, so this was the old website. This was for the previous one. Obviously, you only get one chance at the thing to get the Kickstarter going. But then you can they started a new one. They just did it again, which is exactly what the fans wanted. It's like, just give yourself more time and a lower pledge, and then up the pledge if you need to. And they were like, yeah, we're just going to do that. And so that's exactly what they did. They dropped it from the 500,000 to the 200,000, then they hit it, then they increased it to 3, and then to 500, but they'd already hit their goal. So people have now funded it, and they say, we did it thanks to you. So this is incredible. We're actually, I highly recommend, watch the trailer. You're going to love what's coming of this. It's really awesome. Unofficial Power Rangers content with the Power Rangers we all know and love. Jason Fount, the Red Time Force Ranger who played Wes. Jason David Frank, who played Tommy Oliver in Mighty Morphin, in Zeo, in Turbo, in Alien, in Dino Thunder, in plenty of others where he's come back and been a part of the franchises, maybe even as a cameo or whatnot. But he's a legend. He's been around the Power Rangers scene since day one. He lives and breathes it. So many others: Ciara Hanna, Christiane, fan favorite characters Yoshi Sudarsa, and Johnny Young Bosch, of course, especially people who are fans of anime are really excited about Johnny Young Bosch coming back into another live action role, because he's done mostly vocal roles for the past, like, what has it been, 15 years, you know, something like that. So you guys are gonna love this. And so they're obviously wicked excited. They made a video just talking about how, I'll make sure my volume's down. I don't know if you guys can hear this. I think I have the trailer audio like super low or something. You guys might be able to hear this one coming through. Maybe not. But basically they're just saying, we did it. We got the money. Now we can start working on the project. And they're really happy about it, obviously. Another really cool thing is that Jason David Frank had been giving, like, the 24 hours left, the 48 hours left, multiple videos that had been made to kind of just communicate with the fans. And he basically just said, like, every day that we're getting, we hit the first check mark, and then we started, you know, reworking the script. We moved on to the next goal, and we started reworking the script, because now we have more money, we can do more things, we can hire more people, the story can be bigger and better. And so the more pledges, the more money they actually receive for the funding, the creation of this project, the more they can do. They can actually start to work towards actually buying the lot they're working on, buying the capital and the resources, the sets, so they don't have to keep tearing down, and they can just buy territory with this stuff. And like, they buy a warehouse, they build different sets with it, and then they can also afford CGI Zord battles, even though it's not really Zords. It'll be giant robot battles, because it's unofficial Power Rangers, right? So they can't use the word Zord or Megazord, perhaps. So that's more or less what they're talking about, but they're all so excited, and it's all of our favorite people. So as far as fan content goes, this is what's up. Like, you're gonna love Batinthesun. There's basically 2 production companies that I'm like totally 100% on board, sold out for, that make Power Rangers content. It's Batinthesun, and it's Crimson Vision Studios with my friend Colin K. Bass, the Blur. You can follow him on Instagram at Colin the Blur. Another great fan content production company that makes epic, absolutely epic Power Rangers content, which you're gonna love. Two or three different shows going on right now on YouTube that you can watch from him, and then also, of course, the Batinthesun content, which most people already know about. But as far as this, I'm thrilled. I'm so excited. And Legend of the White Dragon, I mean, come on, dude, who doesn't want to see this go down? The trailer, if you guys didn't see it, is flipping just bananas. It's so exciting. I don't think I'm playing the audio for you. I'm going to try to keep that down, just because I don't want to get, like, if I get flagged or something like that on YouTube. But you guys, man, tell me who your favorite Power Ranger is. And if they're not already on this cast list, if the pledges get high enough and people request it, these Rangers that have been part of our childhood growing up, they love the Power Rangers. Like, they're grateful for that, for the opportunity they were given. Most of these guys live and breathe it. They go to Comic-Cons all the time. That's usually how they make their money, actually, is they go to Comic-Cons and sign stuff and sign helmets and that sort of thing. But this is the kind of fan content that we're looking at, like really awesome, you know, like high intensity action. They even got the stunt coordinators and fight choreographers from Daredevil on Netflix. So, like, we're talking about really epic fight choreographers on top of the people that did Power Rangers for a living, you know, coming over to help out with these projects. A lot of great stuff is happening over here, and I can't wait to see this. If this is just the trailer, man, am I excited to see the actual production. And they also talked about, if they get enough budget, they'll just set aside the sets so they can continue to make these projects ongoing and continue to build off of this. Because these guys that, like Johnny Young Bosch, Jason David Frank, this is what they want to do. They want to stay in the game. And by the way, this is going to bleed very nicely. That's Ciara Hanna. That's Jason Fount. This is going to bleed extremely well into my next story, which I'll show you guys right now. Really cool stuff. I really love the cast they brought together. Some of my favorite actors from Power Rangers coming together. Still, obviously, so many more that I would love to see be part of this project, that could still be part of this project ongoing if they can get this going. You know, like see Connor McKnight come back from Dino Thunder, or like or you know, like you can get Trent Mercer. That'd be super cool. You know, even if you want to go back to Ninja Storm, obviously, you know, we just had the recent passing of Pua, the Red Ranger, which was a tragedy. You know, it was very sad. And to me, that was actually, Ninja Storm was my favorite. Other than Mighty Morphin, it was my favorite series. And so, I mean, but to see like someone like, for instance, you could get like the Navy or Crimson Ranger. You can get Dustin, the Yellow Ranger. You can get, you know, Tori, the Blue Ranger. Whoever you want, like, put them in the comments. Tell me who your favorite Rangers are. And I'll even drop that comment in the comments here and just say, hey, can you talk to whoever and get them for me? Like, if you guys want to see, you know, like, for instance, Danny, the Black Ranger from Wild Force. I've actually talked with him on Instagram. Really cool guy. He chats with people. So you can, like, you know, you can go and you can reach out to some of your favorite Power Rangers actors and be like, hey, man, you should totally join Jason David Frank over here on this project. They'll totally do it. Like, these guys are actors. They're trying to act. So fund it. Share it. Can't wait to see it. Anyways, let this transition into the next phase of this conversation. And then before the end of this video, I will click over to the live chat to check out what you guys have to say. This is pretty much going to be a shorter video, much more so than usual. But I just want